You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. More than 100 prominent black clergy have signed a petition calling for a boycott of the Word Network after Kevin Adell, the network's white owner and CEO, was accused of racial insensitivity. Here's a photo that's in question. The Word Network, of course, is billed as the largest African-American religious network in the world. And this photo was a photo that was sent to Bishop George Bloomer, founder of the Bethel Family Worship Center, by Kevin Adell. Bishop Bloomer joins us right now. And so, Bishop, I read a story, when the story was done on this, where Kevin Adell said he sent this to you to apprise you of what was out there, but you say that's not what happened.
Not what happened. First, good to see you. Thanks for having me tonight. Texas is something else, and everything that transpired is all in Texas. Okay? I came to the network, and he showed me it on his phone, and I immediately said to him, get rid of that. Don't play with it. It is bad. It has racist connotations to it. When I left the studio, I was going to my car. He then texted to me. I then texted him again, and I said, I told you that this is not good. He then called me from his office with employees from the network in his office, and the Bishop, George Bloomer. I was so upset. I cussed at him, and I said to him, I told you that blank ain't funny. And he hung up. One of the employees there then called me and says, yo, man, people were inside the office when Kevin called you, and you told him that wasn't funny. Roland, every bit of this 4 or 5 day back and forth is on text. Kevin Adell is disingenuous. He's not telling the truth, and he's also lying. Okay? He told the Detroit News that he sent it to me so that I could be aware of it. Okay? But he also sent this to me so that I could be aware of it. Let me find it. And I'm gonna send these things to you, Roland. Let me see, I can set it up first. This is what he sent to me. You look like a midget. Your tattoo from the Fantasy Island. Let's see if I can. I didn't know they made tuxedos that small. This is not funny. He texts me back, LOL.
Wow.
I said, this has racist connotations. It's equivalent to blackface. He then sends me a picture of him in a tuxedo, and he doodles blackface on the person.
Oh my God.
They can say whatever they want to say. I'm not talking. He is. Every text I have here. Every text. Any question you want to ask me, I'm ready to answer.
Word Network obviously targets African Americans. Significant number of black preachers who are on the Word Network.
I was the face of the Word Network for 8 years. I was Rejoice in the Word on the Word Network. The next program I did was called The First Word, which was a program where you brought other preachers on and they could minister and move products. And then my national television program also is on the network. I don't know what got into him that day. This didn't happen in the studio. This happened over texting back and forth over a period of a few days. When we had our last conversation, I decided to quit. And I was silent about quitting. I left, I was silent, and then bloggers started picking it up that I was fired over the Benny Hinn statement or fired before the misappropriation of funds. I then went on the Larry Reed show in order to get the word out that I was never fired. Bishop Neil Ellis from Global International Ministries called me and said, I've been hearing some things and I read some things online, and I called Kevin Adell to speak to him, and I'm asking you, Bishop Bloomer, would you go and speak to Kevin Adell? And I said, no. The only way I'll talk to him is if he puts out a press release stating that he never fired me and there's no misappropriation of funds. He told Bishop Ellis, no, he will not do that. It is not the policy of the Word Network to send out any press release. So I went online and got all the press releases that he had sent out when other people had quit or got fired. He wanted that negative connotation to stay out there with regarding and about me. He then told the newspaper that he wanted to change the programming on the network, and I wasn't in agreement with that. But he forgot the text that I sent him about all of the interviews that I had done with celebrities and movie stars. He forgot the text that I have where I built the studio at our church so we can do 2 shows in North Carolina and 2 shows in Detroit. He forgot all those things, and I have all those texts. So I have texts going as far back as the beginning of the year. My show only aired 3 times this year: January, May, and September. This guy is a liar, and I want to talk about it.
What do you want to happen next? A letter was put out as well. Are you calling on some of the bigger names who have their programming on the Word Network to pull their programming? And again, for the folks who don't know, these pastors are paying the Word Network to air their services, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And were you paid by the Word Network? Were you an employee of them? What was your financial arrangement?
I wasn't an employee. I wasn't an employee of the Word Network, but I got free programming for my television programs, and then my books and tapes and so on and so forth like that. I would receive residuals that goes back to my ministry from that. But I wasn't on the payroll. I didn't get a check or anything like that.
What has been the response from other preachers? Have they responded to what you?
Oh my God! I didn't start the boycott. I didn't. I'm glad they started one, but I didn't start the boycott. I worked very, 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 very hard to be an honest guy. And that's the truth. And I just can't let him, soil me and dog me like that. And that was it. At a later date, Roland, I'll share some other things, but I just wanted to clear that. Jamal Bryant was quite silent on this matter. And I called him and I said, your silence is questioning me, would make me question your activism. And he said, well, he was just hearing some things, he's taking things into consideration and what have you. And he did a show. And it's online, and he got up there and he began to talk, and he shared how that I had quit and I left the Word Network. But at the end of his statement, he said something that wasn't correct. He said, and after I quit, I went back and I did my final show, which was a lie. That never, ever happened. I called Jamal and I said, Jamal, this is not correct. This is not right. Jamal then did a retraction to what had happened. And I said this to Jamal. I said, you didn't make that up. Someone said that to you. So I know that there's a campaign to make things look like it is something that it isn't. And you asked me what I want out of this. I want the money that is owed to me, and it's a lot.
How much?
And
How much?
I would say I don't want to say, but it's a lot.
5 figures,
it's a lot.
5 figures, 6 figures?
6 figures plus, yeah.
Low to mid six figures, high six figures?
I would say somewhere in the 150s.
And so that's what Kevin Adell for the Word Network owes you.
Yes.
For what?
When we had a Bible program, and we would I wrote 60 some odd books. So I would do a show, and then for the show there would be a book offer, and so we sell the book to the ministry at a premium. People sow a seed, we send them the book, and that's how we generate funds.
Got it.
We also had Bible programs that was going on where he promised me a fee off of each of the Bibles, and he has yet to pay that. That's where those numbers come from. Then we had a CD that was used in order to sell the Bible. And the reason why I was like, because I don't know the exact amount of Bibles, but I know up until a certain part, so it may be much more than that.
Okay. Well, Bishop Bloomer, we will reach out to Kevin Adell tomorrow to see if he wants to come on to explain himself. Certainly, I would love to see a transcript of those text messages to
you will.
To ask
Can I say
him.
one other thing?
Yes,
Roland?
go ahead.
Just one other thing. I just saw before I came on your program something from Detroit that he's on, and he's saying that I quit and I made this whole thing up because no other studios would take me. Hear me now. I've been in television for 20 some odd years. Total Christian Television, TCT, signed me to a contract 3 days after the thing transpired and happened. And many of the other networks have already offered me free air on their stations, white and black, because they don't want my voice to be silenced. This is what I'm talking about, and I wanted to say that too.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Bishop Bloomer, I really appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Real quick on our panel here. He got receipts.
Oh my God. I had no idea Christian networks were so juicy. I'm missing out, apparently.
Yeah, we got to go to divinity school. But,
Oh my goodness, he got serious.
Roland, I have a problem with all of this.
With what?
Not with whatever the Word Network did to him. You know, Reverend Jackson had a problem with the Word Network. They squeezy. But I also have an issue with we selling the Bibles. You do, you know, it's like Father Divine or some mess like that. It really makes me uncomfortable.
Hold on, what? Selling Bibles?
Like that.
Like what?
It seems to be there is an element of exploitation in here, from my perspective.
No, but
as an economist.
Okay, hold on. But you say it's selling Bibles. First of all, Bibles are always sold.
Yes.
So what the arrangement here was that if you are selling the Bible, and so here's what we don't know. We don't know what the back end is. We don't know if there was a backroom operation. We don't know if there was a fulfillment center. No, I'm saying we don't know that. I mean, I bought Bibles, which meant somebody had to sell it. Means somebody getting paid.
So, Roland, here's what I know. As the brother talked, all of my antenna went up. That's all I know. Now, I don't know what the deal is, but
the Bible but the Bibles and the money are separate from sending a meme.
The Word Network,
white guy as the pimp, and then the preachers as his hoes. That's what the meme was. Yeah. And again, according to this story, Kevin Adell tells the Detroit newspaper, I was making him aware. He's saying, no, you were sitting here laughing and acting as if that was no big deal.
The Word Network has issues, but there are also a set of issues around how we use religion in the context of capitalism. That's hold on. That
ain't the issue. That ain't the issue, okay?
For me, it is.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with this. What this is about is the issue here, and that is Kevin Adell, white owner of the Word Network, did he or did he not sit here and think it was funny to send a meme to this black preacher and then joking with him saying, you look like tattoo, don't make No, that's the issue.
That's wrong.
What I'm not going to do, I ain't going to muddy the issue, okay? I'm going to stay focused on what it is. Kevin Adell has to answer this. Bloomer sends me those text messages. My deal's going to be, Adell, these text messages show you joking and you acting as if this was no big deal. They ain't the same as I'm making you aware.
Yeah,
You
let
know
me just
what?
also say, I think it also shows a huge intersection here between Christianity and racism, particularly as it's implemented through this particular network, and are broadly speaking in terms of how oftentimes it's practiced in a very exploitative way.
This
And
is an issue.
if you look at what that meme is saying, if you look at what that meme is saying, and the reason why he kept, now I'm thinking, if someone tells you once that they're offended, why would you keep going back day after day after day after day? What he is essentially saying in this depiction of him being a pimp and they being the hose, is that here I am, the owner of this network. Go ahead out there, make that money, make my money.
Right.
But
You better have my money.
Avis, at the
That's
same
what he's
time,
saying
And
in a
hold
very
on,
literal way.
And that's what Bloomer said I'm objecting to. He's saying that means something in the black community when you the pimp and we hoes. To your point, we go out and make the money. Your thoughts on this?
White supremacy fears two things: loss of life, loss of funds. So at some point, we as black people, we have to realize, okay, if we go into this person to be on TV, what's stopping us from starting our own?
Thank you.
If we making
There you
all
go.
this money,
Yes.
why not start our own? So if we start our own, there's no need for a boycott.
And,
But Roland-
in fact, hold on. And in fact, in the Periscope video Jamal Bryant did, that's actually what he talked about. He said, if we're going to boycott, fine. He said, but if we're going to expand that level of energy boycott, why don't we say, you know what, fine, we're going to pull all our programming off of the word network and then put it on a black-owned network. What does it mean
Absolutely.
actually starting one? But Kevin Adell has to address this issue. And so I got Kevin Adell's number. He's going to get the text message as soon as this show is over to answer this issue because, again, I'm reading one story. And see, for all y'all out there who are saying, why was I asking the judge those questions? See, this is why you ask people questions to get their response on record. Then you follow up with the next set of questions. I want Kevin Adell to explain to me if he was making him aware, because if the text messages show you thought it was funny and you kept making jokes to Bishop George Bloomer, that story ain't gonna hold water. Final comment.
Bishop George Bloomer, Jamal Bryant, my friends, decide to sleep with the devil. That's what I have to say. They sleeping with the devil. They knew this man was not whatever. And
Okay,
they
hold on. You base it on what?
base it on the text, all of that. You know, and like Jamal said, why can't we start our own stuff?
Hold on. You can't say somebody knew they were sleeping with the devil based upon the text. If I know the text even existed, how do I know he's a devil?
You know, the Word Network fell out with Reverend Jackson behind some BS. They fallen out with other black
How many people actually know that?
Well, I do.
Right, you do.
Is it
But everybody else don't know that.
Is it documented?
So what I'm saying is, if I don't know, if I never had that kind of relationship or issue with somebody, well then I don't even know that. What this does is exposing this, and Adell's going to have to actually address the issue.
But these black preachers are also going to have to they're going to have to grow some, and they're going to have to say that they are prepared to leave this plantation, and move on.
They've issued a letter calling for that. The question now is, yes, will that happen? And again, and to those of you who are sitting here posting like, Roland, why are you discussing this? Because that's the point. Because if I ignored the issue, then it gets no oxygen. Then folks don't know. That's why we do this.
And it's also money,
We
Roland.
do this
That's why you
to
do it.
talk
Yeah.
about black stuff. And yes, black people and black churches supporting networks. And if this is the owner of the network and how he feels about black preachers, you should know. All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, November 7th through the 11th, we're going to be in Cabo for the Luxe Jazz Experience, the second annual one. 14 different acts will be performing, including Gerald Albright, of course, over 3 days. If you want to attend, of course, go to LifeLuxeJazz.com, LifeLuxeJazz.com. But if you cannot make it, you can get your live streaming pass for $10.99 by going to GFNTV.com. That's GFNTV.com. Folks like Mark Curry, again, Gerald Albright, Alex Bouillon, Raul Madon, Incognito, Pieces of a Dream, Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, Donnie McClurkin, Shalea, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Ronnie Laws, Ernest Quarles, we all performing. It's going to be an amazing time, and trust me, you want to check it out. And so, if you want to get the live stream, you can simply go to gfntv.com. That's gfntv.com to get the live stream pass for those 3 days. All right, folks, now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.